So Simple tutorial. Good morning students. Welcome to SST So Simple tutorial. In the previous class we had discussed about the First World War and its impact on warring nations, followed by the Great Depression and the impact of the depression on India. Today we shall discuss the last unit, rebuilding a world economy, the post-war era. Post-war here means post Second World War. In the previous unit, we have already seen which two camps fought the First World War. Let us now see who all fought the Second World War. Student, the Second World War was fought between the Axis powers and the Allies. The Axis powers included mainly Nazi Germany, Japan and Italy, and the Allies included Britain, France, the Soviet Union and the United States of America. So the Allies were the same, isn't it? Now, what was the period? It was fought between 1939 and 1945. That is, from Hitler's invasion of Poland till the surrender of Hitler in Europe and dropping of atom bomb in Japan. So, whereas the First World War lasted for 4 years, this war, the Second World War, lasted for 6 years. This war was fought on many fronts as well as in many places, over land, sea as well as the air. This time around also, death and destructions were enormous, much more than the First World War. 60 million people were killed, which amounted to about 3% of the world's population of 1939. This number includes all those killed directly or indirectly by the war. Besides soldiers, it included a large number of civilians. Just remember the barbarities in Germany, who were killed in concentration camps. Jews only counted about 6 million. Then there were Polish civilians, gypsies and even undesirable Germans. Then the 2 atom bombs used by the US itself had killed over 3 lakh people, mostly civilians. Then the air raids from both the sides, that also killed about 1.5 million people, again mostly civilians. Millions more were injured and millions were made homeless. So we find that unlike the earlier wars, most of the death took place outside the battlefields. Besides loss of life, dear students, bombing had flattened cities and towns. It destroyed bridges, railways, factories, everything. It caused an immense amount of economic devastation. It crippled the economies worldwide. So reconstruction was the need of the time. Dear students, before we go to the factors that shaped post-war reconstruction, let me briefly assess the consequences of the Second World War. 1. It gave a death blow to imperialism. It weakened the imperialist countries of Europe. By the next 2 decades, most colonies in Asia and Africa won their freedom. We will discuss this sometime later in subsequent classes. 2. The USA and the Soviet Union emerged as superpowers. The balance of power now shifted from Western Europe to the US and the USSR. 3. Two friends who had fought both the world wars together became enemies. I am talking about the USA and the USSR. They came in confrontation with each other because of their ideological differences. Remember these points. Okay. Let us resume our topic. Dear students, the economy of the warring nations had shattered during the war. Hence, reconstruction was the immediate priority. Reconstruction means the process of bringing the country back to normal by making its economy stronger. Okay. Let us see what were the factors that shaped post-war reconstruction. Students, 2 crucial influences shaped post-war reconstruction. The first was the US emergence as the dominant economic, political and military power in the Western field. The second was the dominance of the Soviet Union. Soviet Union had made huge sacrifices to defeat Nazi Germany. It had also transformed itself from a backward agricultural country into a world power. See how things change. Just think, during the First World War, one day the same Russia was begging peace from Germany to withdraw from the war. Recall the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk. Now the same Soviet Union gained worldwide respect because of her crucial role in defeating Germany. Let us now see the two pictures before we close the session. Figure 24. German forces attack Russia, July 1941. Hitler's objective of conquest of Soviet Union, as you all know, was very different from his other campaigns. You probably have not forgotten that he wanted to settle millions of pure-blooded Aryans there and use their vast resources to make Germany powerful. The invasion of Soviet Russia, however, was a historic blunder on the part of Hitler. It turned out to be destruction for Hitler himself. See the next picture. Stalingrad in Soviet Russia devastated by war. Students, the Battle of Stalingrad had reduced the city to rubble. However, the Soviet Red Army had inflicted a crushing and humiliating defeat on Germany at Stalingrad. Let me stop here, students. Time for probable questions now. 1. Mention the nations that got engaged in the Second World War. 2. Describe in brief the destruction caused during the Second World War. 3. Mention the factors that shaped post-war reconstruction. Now read your textbook and prepare these questions. In the next class, we will discuss the next topic, post-war settlement and the Bretton Woods institutions. Till then, keep reading and have a good time. Thank you.